Hey, I'm Kelleher, and I'm going to go into a short summary of my paper entitled Academic Library Managers and Conflict Resolution. I chose this topic because in my working career and in the managers that I've had, I've really seen either managers really struggle with conflict or just handle it in an inefficient way. So I wanted to look at efficient ways of dealing with conflict. The thesis of my paper is this paper examines conflict and conflict resolution strategies. It will share views on the causes of conflict, types of conflict, conflict escalation, and various conflict resolution models, which can aid an academic library manager in their management career. A simple definition of conflict is that it pertains to the opposing ideas and actions of different entities, thus resulting in an antagonistic state. It's also just an inevitable part of interpersonal relationships and work environments. But why does conflict occur? And in my paper, I go over these reasons of opposing interests involving scarce resources and goal divergence. Conflict also occurs in mixed motive relationships where persons have both competitive and cooperative interests, and just simply because people cause conflict and they don't stop it from escalating. Next, I go into how there's relationship conflict and task conflict, and then a combined version of this. So with relationship conflict, this can lead to animosity and interpersonal disputes. Task conflict can encourage analytical thinking and problem solving and be a positive force. And if we combine these two elements, it usually leads to negative effects on decision making, group performance, and outcomes. So in my paper, I really concentrate on the interpersonal part of conflict. And I found a wonderful resource from Vestergaard Helvard Sorensen from the Danish Center for Resolution Conflict that spoke about how conflict escalates. And I really wish I could go more into this. But the idea with this is that say two staff members can have a disagreement, and the idea is to stop that from going any further. So if it does go further, it can go from personification all the way to polarization, where these two staff members may not even be able to work together. So this idea really helped me understand that in the future, if a simple disagreement occurs, the idea is to use conflict resolution strategies to handle that problem and not make it escalate. The other thing I go into is redefining conflict and dispelling myths. So with this, it's good to look at conflict as a positive thing. So according to Malappa and Kumar, conflict is positive and it offers an opportunity to learn more about oneself, explore views of others, and develop productive relationships. And then some of the myths that I go over are that conflict only breeds destruction, it causes communication to stop, and there has to be a winner and a loser. And then the next thing I go into is conflict management and resolution strategies. So conflict management skills encompass the ability to be able to identify and handle conflict sensibly, fairly, and efficiently. And in my paper, I cover 4 conflict resolution strategies. And I wish I could go over these more. The first one is Thomas and Kilman's 5 approaches to conflict. And this is centered around that there's accommodation, avoidance, compromise, and collaboration approaches to conflict. Then the next thing I go into is collaborative conflict management, such as coaching and mediation. And then I found a wonderful source from Kohlreiser, who's a professor from the Institute for Management Development, and he covers 6 essential skills to not fall into normal conflict pitfalls. And the last thing I go into is planning for conflict. This model covers 7 practices to add to your management style. Again, I recommend that you look through all these and see more details. I wish I could go over more of that. And in conclusion, I really set out in this paper to analyze conflict and present several conflict resolution strategies an academic librarian can use. However, I wanted to really say that this only skims the surface, and I do recommend that you look more into this. I thank you for your time, and thank you very much.